Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACT, and it's always a pleasure to be in your company every Tuesday evening between the hours of 8 to 9, where we talk sports. Tonight we're going to be talking cycling, but before I introduce my guests for tonight, I just want to say, a special congratulations to the Haitian football team, the first female under-20 team from the Caribbean to qualify for a World Cup. And I think that was really an outstanding achievement. And really and truly, Haiti was one of the teams that I really, enjoyed seeing them on the field, the way they played. And what was even more astonishing is that a lot of the girls on the Haitian team are just 14 and 15-year-olds, and they played wonderful football. So Trinidad and Tobago, take notice. That's all I have to say. Well, viewers, as I said, we're going to be talking cycling, and I have with me two members from the PSL Cycle Club. We have Trinidad and Tobago top female rider, Teniel Campbell. Teniel, it's always a pleasure. Hi. Welcome again. And we have the president manager of PSL, also a UCI certificate second level coach, Mr. Desmond Roberts. And Mr. Roberts is also Teniel's manager.
Welcome. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you all here. Let's first of all start with a review of Teniel's performance in 2017. I know there's a lot in store for her. She took a year off of school, so that means major things happening in 2018. But let's talk a bit about, from your perspective as a manager, on her performance in 2017.
Well, first I want to thank our coach, one of the guys who she believes in a lot, which is Elijah Green, who has been handling her over the years. And I must say, Elijah was one of the local guys who did a very good job to have Teniel where she is today. Yeah. After 2017, one thing that I want to back up a bit in 2017 is the Southern Games. When Teniel had studies at the time, she studied at night, and after every race, every event, she was under the scoreboard studying. And then getting up when an event called, go out and race and whatnot. And that struck me.
Commitment.
And you don't see much of that. And the only thing I'm sorry about, I did not took a pit here. So, under the scoreboard, studying, and when event come, she went out there and raced, won a race. So I want to say hats off to you, Tino, that I never mentioned that before. But, I observed that, so I must let the public of Trinidad and Tobago know that it's not just cycling, her achievement, and how she was focused on both areas. Yeah. Coming back to 2017, I've been dealing with Teniel since December 2016, and I must say I saw both her and her brother some commitment to the sport, more so with Teniel's aggression to move forward. And that gave me the drive to keep on working with young people like that. You don't usually get much young people like that, and not just in Trinidad, but throughout.
Yeah.
With that kind of commitment, and that gave me that extra drive to really move forward with supporting and things like that.
So, from 2016 to present, you are totally satisfied as a manager for really having her, in your club, and really seeing that is a young person that you can work with and she can achieve.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
I also believe, and I was telling the UCI, the new president, that I also believe she could make it to the 2020 Olympics. Again, she has to stay focused. If she continue on that trend, stay focused, and Trinidad and Tobago could look forward to the first female cyclist to take part in the Olympic event. But again, she needs support. And by going to Switzerland this year, which she got invited by UCI to go to Switzerland to do some road event, that will all as well for her. And the reason why we choose Switzerland, I spoke to the UCI president when he was in Martinique, where she won the double gold medal.
Yeah.
Again, I wanted to just touch on that a bit. It was pretty tough going into Martinique. I won't go into any details on that, but it was pretty tough going into Martinique. We got in there the night before the race, get some rest. One thing I understand about Teniel, when I heard last year she got cramp up, the 2016 she cramp up in the road race, a coach or manager must know the athlete.
Yeah.
If you don't know your athlete, then something is wrong, right? And if I go outside to work with an athlete, I go on business, where that is concerned. So we got up there, got up late. One thing I told her on the flight when he was going up, I did her this. She said, "What do you mean, Mr. Roberts?" I said, 2 wins, nothing less. Now, my motto, our club saying is take no prisoners.
Yeah.
So 2 wins, nothing less. I don't think she was fully prepared because it was sort of back and front situation. But we decided, to head out to Martinique, make sure you get some water, and I told her, just drink. My aim was to make sure she have enough fluid in her system that she would not cramp up during the race. We had no idea of the race course, what the course would have been like, and things like that. I just told her, ride smart, stay high, stay focused. I had all confidence she would have won the both events, going into Martinique. Yeah. And that was a great achievement in itself. The time trial, again, we didn't have no times of the 7 cyclists who went ahead of her with the time trial. So again, we had to focus, get things organized. I even called Elijah the morning, which is who coach, telling me, we're going to do the time trial, the next morning to get things organized. So get down there, get prepared, and I'm very focused where them things is concerned. I could have who around me, I don't see them.
Well,
I see the cyclists.
That's the role of a proper manager.
I see the cyclists. My focus is make sure you go there and do your best. So we went out there. I was in the vehicle following. I had my situation, my eye surgery, so I could not see clear. And I was just thinking when to start bawling at her, yelling at her to tell her, "Hey, go for it." So I was just monitoring the situation. I knew it would have been difficult for her to hear me because of the helmet she had on and things like that. And the final turn into the sprint to the finish line when she get up and she started to drive, I said, "Yeah, I think we have it." So not knowing the times the other cyclists did, I have to think in my mind, how she's riding, see how she's riding, see if she's comfortable during the rides. See when she's slowing up and say, "Hey, I feel she's dropping here. You need to pick it up," and things like that. So that was my job. To the end of the day, it turned out to be very successful. 2 wins. That we brought back 2 medals to Trinidad and Tobago.
Today, let me jump over to you. A lot of records broken last year, and a couple of double gold medals. Tell me about your season last year, how it was for you, and let the people know about. We heard part of you in Southern Games under the scoreboard, studying riding. A lot of us sit and we criticize when sportsmen or women don't perform or they don't always be on the top, but we don't know the sacrifices that you all have to make. So that is something I want to talk about now. Talk about 2017, what it was like for you. Right? What are some of the struggles and the pressures on life that you had to undergo in order to be where you are today, looking forward to heading to Switzerland?
Well, first of all, being a student athlete is extremely difficult. You must have balance in both aspects. So some mornings I'll have to wake up at 4 a.m., to train before I go to school. And then, for example, I have to wake up at 4 to reach to the gym for 5:30, and then after gym I have school for 9 o'clock. And school goes from 9 to 4 p.m. From when I reach home from school, I have training again in the evening, and that goes on till 9 p.m. And sometimes that's just how my day repeats for the week. So it's a lot of dedication, focus. You just have to want it. Because some nights you're just overpacked with schoolwork, but you want to train as well, and you both want to do good in school. So it took a lot out of me. Sometimes I was mentally frustrated, but with the support from my family, my mom and everybody, they support me and kept pushing me and telling me to stay focused, stay on track, and go for my goals and head towards my achieving my dreams. But basically, it's just to have the balance and the support, and everything will be good. You have to want it as the athlete as well.
But I'm sure there are times when you sit and your shoulders drop and you're thinking.
Yeah.
What do you use as a motivating factor to, because we'll all get there sometimes. It necessarily don't have to be in sports. Sometimes in business when things are going on, you tend to drop your shoulders. What do you use as a motivating factor to just snap out of it as quickly and get back on that track?
Simple. I want to be Olympic champion. I have goals. I have ambitions to do well and continue creating history for Trinidad and Tobago. I want to be remembered as a legend. So I always replay that in the back of my head. So yeah, it's just that simple. This is what I want. So I have to make the sacrifices. I have to be determined. I have to be ambitious. And I just have to do what I have to do.
Let's reflect on some of your achievements for 2017.
Me personally, I didn't think I achieved much 2017 because of school. I didn't get to go to a lot of international meets and train and perform better, as well as to race against more competitive people. But the double goal at Martinique at the Caribbean Cycling Championships, I was able to defend my title. Thankfully for Mr. Desmond Roberts and the PSL Cycling Club for all the support in getting me there. As well, with that achievement, I managed to qualify for CAC Road as well, and backtracking to Pan Am Track Championships, although I didn't perform as I wanted to and manage the medal, I still qualified for CAC track as well. Then there was Easter Grand Prix. I did pretty okay in that. I didn't manage to reclaim my title in the Karen, but I'm sure I might get it back this year. I also placed top 10 in the Tobago Cycling Classic in Division 2, which was pretty good for me. I came 7th overall among some of the strongest junior cyclists as well as elite. Yeah, I believe that was it. Oh, sorry. Pan Am, we also went to Pan Am Road Race in Dominican Republic. That didn't go so well either, but it was a good experience in the sense that I could now see how much work I have to put in and the type of training that I will need going forward, as well as the support to reach the Olympics and further continue to achieve my goals.
And you did took part in the elite championships at Cuba, right?
Yeah, that's the elite Pan American.
Right, okay. Now, when you look back now, what do you think that you need to do right now? Because you took part in 2017, you got achievements, but in some of the events you didn't do what you wanted to do because of school. Now that you have taken a year off from school, how focused and what plans have you put in place to make sure that 2018 is going to be a successful year for you?
Well, the invitation from the UCI headquarters came in handy, and I believe...
No, that came in because of what? Your performance?
The performance at the Caribbean Road Cycling Championships. So I was very happy and grateful for that 6-month invitation. Well, when I go there, I will have I'll be exposed to the levels of racing that is intended to carry me to the next level and to break the barriers that in Trinidad that we have when it comes to racing is not as high as in Europe.
Yeah.
Well, at the moment, my training has changed. The workload has increased. Well, the volume, the workload, so yes, has increased. So sometimes I might put in like 22 hours a week on the road. And yeah, it's just a lot more on, sometimes it could affect you mentally because sometimes I have to go on the road by myself, and well, I would also have my DPSL driver with me, following me for protection, because we know how the road is on in Trinidad and Tobago. But yeah, that's just how it is right now.
So how long will this Switzerland stint will be? How long will it be?
It's got it for 6 months, I believe.
6 months a year.
We start from the 27th of February and commence on the 25th of June, somewhere around there.
And you'll be out there with any foreign, any local coaches or managers or everything, or you totally on your own across there?
No, I'll just be myself.
How are you preparing for that? Because remember now, this is your first major, it's not a championship you're going for over a weekend or so. It's 6 months you're going for. How are you, or who in the PSL club is preparing you for something like this? Because it's going to be different.
Yeah, it'll be different.
You're going to be away from your coach, your manager, your teammates.
You can't forget the environmental factor.
Yes. How are you preparing now? So that's a double set of things you have to worry about, right? How are you going to prepare for that? How are you preparing?
I think mentally I'm prepared for anything. Is once you're really dedicated, and you just have to adjust. So I have to go out there and adjust to the different environments, the different training, and I think I'll be fine.
How are you as the manager? What's your responsibility here and your role here because I'm sure that although she goes there for 6 months, you're going to still be her manager.
That's right, yeah.
How is the communication? How are you going to be working with Teniel?
Well, I have some guys in Europe, like Nick Stoppler, and those guys will be monitoring situations to me. I already have discussion with them.
Right. So
Nick Stoppler is the captain of my team for the Tobago Cycling Classic.
Okay.
And I must say, PSL Cycling Club was the only club that won the Tobago Cycling Classic on 3 occasions.
We will come to that.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I give you your props.
That's right.
Yeah. Right. So,
but,
so at least she'll be meeting people who you already know.
Yeah.
Is that so? When you go across there?
Well,
Nick.
I don't think I might meet them, but
You'll meet
probably
them,
at certain races I might see them.
Yeah, they live close by.
Right.
So I have about probably 3 or 4 cyclists from Europe who I already spoke to, and they could monitor things and whatnot, and then she'll have their contact information.
Right. This whole stint, who will be funding it? How it's going to be worked out?
Well, that is something that we're still working on, and we hope to get not just corporate Trinidad and Tobago, but support from throughout.
So you need, presently right now what you're saying is that you need corporate Trinidad and Tobago and the cycling supporters to come on board to assist you.
Yeah.
Because it's 6 months you're going for.
Yeah.
Right?
The good thing about it is when you go up to Switzerland, everything is paid for by UCI. Accommodation, equipment, and things like that.
So if your bicycle mash up, you're getting back one.
Yeah.
Right. So that's good.
Traveling from Trinidad to there is where the situation is.
Okay.
And winter clothing, we're not sure about that. There is a situation, we're going to a different environment where you have to, you're not like just wearing a t-shirt down here and a shorts and hitting the road. One thing I'd asked Teniel about the trainer, and she had mentioned, and it's something that I would like the public to know. Under Mr. Aaron Atwell, where her whole program had been changed, she went out on a ride one morning, and that ride was 5 hours? 6 hours through Claro, Beach and whatnot. And I was concerned because coming through Beach, you have miles of lonely road, forest you're going through. So she called me in the morning and said, okay, I'll send the driver to meet you. Wait at the police station before I hit the beach. Well, there was a miscommunication, and she rode through there by herself. So that in itself tell you about dedication. I want to get the job done. I don't know if you know Beach, but how many people in Trinidad know Beach?
Yeah, Beach is not a safe place.
But thank you.
We need to take a break, right? Hold your thought there for a minute. We need to take a break. We'll be right back after this short break.
now changing your question.
What I would say, Steve, is this.
My first question was, and roll back the tape.
I made my debut for Crystal Palace against Tottenham Hotspur.
My responsibility was to get the ball and make things happen offensively.
In all the time we've played together, I've always been the decoy.
Welcome to Field of Dreams on ACTN. My name is Steve David, and I'm your host.
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACT, and it's always a pleasure to be in your company every Tuesday evening between the hours of 8 and 9.
Welcome to the new season of Football 101. I am your host, Joshua Matos.
Well, it's time for your weekly football news update. I love you, Messi.
Unfortunately,
Hey, kiss the badge, kiss the badge. Oh, what's that? Welcome to this edition of the interview, and as you can see, I'm not alone on the set. I have Marcus, a Liverpool fan, and I have Shakir.
Welcome back, viewers. Welcome back on special edition tonight. We're talking to Teniel Campbell. Remember, Teniel is on the verge of going to Switzerland on a major 6-month stint. And let me take this opportunity that if there's anyone out there who is willing to invest, in something that is positive for a young person, I mean, we're going to get the numbers of the club, and anybody, will want to assist, you can give them a call. We were talking about dedication, right? And right through the interview so far, we have been hearing about dedication. What I want to find out now is in what way this 6 months stint is going to assist you. And during this 6 months, would she be returning to Trinidad to take part in any tournaments, or she's going to be there for the 6 months and that is it?
No, for the 6 months. The only time she might return might be Nationals when? After June? After June, or maybe May, because we have an event in May.
Once there's a national duty, she will come back.
Yeah, but for Easter Grand Prix and things like that,
that's it.
My thing is, as manager, she need to focus on the big picture. Right? I think she's thinking the same too.
Yeah.
And returning to Trinidad to go back to Switzerland will be wasting time. So it's better to go up there, take the pressure, build on your endurance, take the advantage of the situation now.
Yeah.
You're looking at 2020, that's a goal.
So every year she'll be afforded the 6 months?
Well, I'm not sure if she'll be afforded 6 months every year.
Every year.
Right? Because you're looking 2019, that will be different. But in the letter, it clearly states, based on her performance, if she get a pro contract with a team up there, she could probably be selected with a pro team.
So out of this 6 months that you're going for, you could end up
as a pro.
As a pro.
Yeah.
Well, that was one of my questions to ask. When we will see you, turning pro or getting a pro contract. If we are to look at now, 2020 is a little way off still, right? So, what are some of the major competitions before 2020 Olympics that you feel that you are looking forward to getting involved in?
Well, Elite Pan American Track Championships this year have big points at the line, which will qualify for the World Cups, and from the World Cups you get to the World Championships, and that is where major points are allocated to qualify for Tokyo Olympics. So basically the Olympic window opens in this year, Elite Pan American Track Championship. So that is a priority event. And well, obviously next year with the World Championships and getting to qualify for the World Cups, etc., as well as partaking in a couple of class 1 and 2 events, UCI events, to just gain the points to maintain the top 24 in the world.
Mr. Roberts, I know you're eager want to tell me about your club PSL and the achievements and, you know, all the accomplishments that you all have acquired so far. Tell me a bit about your club.
Well,
how long you all have been in existence and some of the cyclists involved with the club and how much time you win the Tobago Classic and, you know.
Well, the club been in existence since 2013. Before that, I was with Gene for about 7 to 8 years, at Team Trek. You know, and then I decided to start my own club back 2013. That was in October. So our first stint was the Tobago Classic. Was our christening for that thing together with Sir Roger Farrell, who supported me then for 2 years, 2013, 2014. We had some cyclists in from Europe, came down, and from France for that 2 years thing. Then we changed, and I'm a very aggressive person. When I go into something, my motto is to win. You know, because in my book, there's no room for second place. You know, so 2015 is when I made some changes. Contacted Nick Stoppler from Denmark. My first word to him when I get him on the phone is, if you need to come to race my team, my motto is to win. If you cannot achieve that, forget it. You know, Lyman is after. Before that, you're coming to race to win. I want the yellow jersey from day one until the final day, and I want to win the UCI stage. So Nick wrote to me, he said, I could work with you. I said, good. So he had the responsibility to get some of the European cyclists that came down here. One thing I would like to stress on, and that opened my eyes to our elite cyclists, not just in Trinidad, but the Caribbean. We don't have good elite cyclists in the region. And that's why it's good for Teniel to go up to Europe.
But what would you say is the reason for something like that?
I believe one is the road condition. We don't have the type of road ready to that level of training. That is one. Two, I believe is some cyclists commitment to it, because it's long hours. And then you know the driving history with people in the Caribbean. Like for instance, Colombia, you have those sort of terrain in Colombia. You have hill climbs. You go into Maracas, where the road condition is not good. The safety situation. So there's a lot of factors involved in that. But those guys who come up with the Tobago Classic, they are not up in, if you check the rankings, they're not even in the top 50 or top 80. So what that tells me, the standard of and they is the one who, you know, win most of the races. So back then you won the 4-day stage in 2015. We missed the UCI stage came third. And 2016, I insist that they go for the double. And that's when we hit the double in 2016. We brought in a guy from Holland. He's pretty tall. We won the yellow jersey for the 4 days, then won the UCI stage. And then last year, we also won a double. I work with some cyclists from Guyana. Melo Crawford, and what's the other young boy name? Curtis Gray. B. I also have a team in Guyana that I assist with uniform. They are doing very good in Guyana. Easter Grand Prix last year, and years gone by, we were very successful in Easter Grand Prix. I was flying the team colors very high. I myself just take part in the event. Road races, we did pretty well in the road races. You know, but once you not showing me that respect or come on the train, I get turned off. You have to be serious, because I invest a lot of my time. You know, I used to get up 4 in the morning, get prepared to go out and meet cyclists, to train with them. If they need assistance, I go out to them, you know, to do the work. It's pretty tough. I have a family to see about. But my focus is, hey, if you're serious, I'm out there with you. If you're not serious, I start to back off. You know, and hence the reason why, you know, I'm a Teniel, Akil to a point. I have some other users now coming into the club. and I'm willing to work with. But again, I always say, if you're not serious, because my motto is to win. And if you go out to represent Trinidad and Tobago, my motto under that belt is to win. There's no room for second place.
Do you use Teniel and her brother Akil as role models for the younger cyclists?
Yeah.
Because it's always good to have in any organization some role model there that the young ones can see. Teniel, how do you handle that role? Because I'm sure that, especially with the young ladies who coming in, everybody going to want to be Teniel, right? And, you know, sometimes what I say is that in sports, media sometimes hinder sports in such a way that when you look at television, for instance, when you look at, let's say, football, and you see Messi and all these guys, you see Messi and these guys in their playing days making money, you know, and on top of the world. But they don't ever show you the from the ground come up. So a lot of people look at it and say, it's easy. I want to be a Messi, I want to be this one, I want to be that one. But these young ladies in the club, they are there with you to see, right, the work you put in. How do you handle the young ladies or the young guys? What sort of motivation you give to them?
Well, firstly, I'm the only female cyclist in the club.
In the club?
Yeah.
You need to do something about that.
Good.
So you're one of the boys?
Well, some of the guys say that because of how I raced against them and in training and stuff. Basically, I think with the guys, it's simply they don't want a girl to drop them or beat them in races. So I think that is their motivation.
Okay.
Because even, for example, in Tobago Classic, the same guy, Curtis Day, I beat him in a race, and he couldn't stop thinking about it. He was like, you motivate me to go home, go back to Guyana and train harder because I don't like how you beat me. You're a girl. I'm a guy. That's not supposed to be like that. So I think it's simply just that it's a mental aspect with me when it comes to them. Okay. So, yeah.
But I'm sure that when you go to events, you know, there are other young ladies from other clubs, you know, do they come to you, you know?
Well,
not really.
I wouldn't say they come to me, but they just be like, wow, you're very strong. And so, well, after a couple of races, some of them be very waxed. And yeah, it's just...
Cycling is a very expensive sport. Very expensive sport. And I'm sure that there are a lot of young boys and girls who want to come into the sport, but financially it's a bit challenging for them. Do you see in the near future any organization or structure that can be put in place to assist someone who wants to come into the sport? How do you see that? If you can't buy the bike, you can't come in the sport.
Yeah.
So there's no other means that a club that you can come in and say the club have bikes that, you know, have any of these cycle clubs ever look at it that way where they can invest in?
But
I think it's
I could talk from on behalf of the sports company by extension, the government. I know some years gone by, and I still have some of the bikes in Arima.
Okay.
Right. They used to donate bikes but there's a club in Arima. There's two guys in Arima who is doing very good with young cyclists, developing young cyclists, and after maybe 5-7 years, they could branch off to another club.
Yeah.
Can't remember the two guys' name. I'd like to mention the name, but they are doing very good with young cyclists. Cunningham and Mr. Walcott, as the two gentlemen, and they are doing a very good job where that is concerned. And they have the bike store in a container in Arima, where they take care of the equipment and have these kids go out. When they reach that development stage, to maybe branch off to the next club where they have to get other bikes, there's where maybe the parents have to come in and purchase equipment for them. But it is not cheap, one. To maintain a bike is another question. I think we reached a stage I would speak for Trinidad and Tobago because I grew up in sports, doing different sports throughout my life. So I can speak for Trinidad and Tobago. I cannot speak for other Caribbean countries. But I grew up in a club called PTY, Princess Town Youths. And this is something I would
think they're still operating, you know?
They're still operating.
Yeah,
I was a member of that club.
Yeah.
Right? And in today's world, too many people are looking for handouts. Right? When I was a member of PTY, I was about probably 19, 20. And we used to sell pie at the Savannah. You had a football team, you had a basketball team, you had a cricket team, and you had an athletic section. Once the club ever went to a sponsor in Princess Town, and the guy told us he could only sponsor the jerseys because he wanted the PSL logo on the jerseys. And we said, no, if you cannot buy the full kit, forget it. And we raised funds and purchased our own equipment for football, cricket, basketball, and the athletics. PTY, Princess Town Youth. And 95% of the members of that club came out very successful today. And I am very proud to mention that. And in today's world, it is a whole different ballgame because parents also encourage some of the things. That is what is going on now. When I moved to Mayaro, I tried creating a club in Mayaro called Mayaro Youths. And Moko Trinidad had wrote a letter to me to coach a basketball team up there. And they could have scouts coming down so guys could get opportunities to go abroad to studies and whatnot. And the older guys, and that's why I say some of the parents and older guys to blame, used to tell the young youths that I'm training men like they want to go in the military. You know, because I'm very serious when it comes to that. You know, and that turned me off, and I disbanded the whole club. You know, so now I'm in the cycling. I'm glad I asked the question. Parents need to work with the organization to support, and don't expect the organization to always put everything out. The next thing, corporate TNT, you purchase something, a bike for somebody. You write off that in your books.
Yeah.
And you can back that from the government. That's the law. You know. But you will go out there, win a medal, and then everybody wants to be on the bandwagon.
We need to take a break at that point. We need to take another break. We guys will be right back after the short break.
You're now changing your question.
What I would say, Steve, is this.
But my first question was, and roll back that tape.
I made my debut for Crystal Palace against Tottenham Hotspur.
My responsibility was to get the ball and make things happen offensively.
In all the time we played together, I've always been the decoy.
Welcome to Field of Dreams on ACTN. My name is Steve David, and I'm your host.
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACT, and it's always a pleasure to be in your company every Tuesday evening between the hours of 8 and 9.
Welcome to the new season of Football 101. I am your host, Joshua Matos.
Well, it's time for your weekly football news update. I love you, Messi.
Unfortunately,
Hey, kiss the badge, kiss the badge. Oh, what's that? Welcome to this edition of the interview, and as you can see, I'm not alone on the set. I have Marcus, a Liverpool fan, and I have Shakir.
Welcome back, viewers. Welcome back to Scoreboard here on ACT. Now, before the break, we were talking about the mentality of both parents and children. And we are seeing it now in everyday life because even recently here in a lot of the culture, nobody seems to have money. They want the government to do this and to do that. Teniel, I'm sure that when you got into cycling, you didn't have the best bike, right? But you, your family, and your coaches and managers, I'm sure you all work together for you to have what you have now. And it don't come easy. But I want to spend the last period of the show really appealing to the public of Trinidad and Tobago to assist you. Because really and truly, every day we hear all the negative things about young people, and no one has the solution. Just lip service. But when the young people are doing something now positive, this is where we want corporate Trinidad and Tobago to come forward. And you made a good point. Business person investing in a bike for you, they're not going to lose. They're going to get back. So what I want to talk about here now is what are some of in what areas and what are some of the things that we need, and when I say we, Trinidad and Tobago need to give you, that when you go to Switzerland, you'll be comfortable. I mean, manager, you could come in too, because you will know from your perspective what is needed.
What is needed, like when Teniel joined my club, we had a club meeting. Guy like to have meetings like once a month, you know, to keep the cyclism informed what's going on, both with the federation and things like that. And I bought a bike for her. I know she was probably shocked that night. And I handed it, I said, that's yours. You know, that is not club equipment, that is yours. You know, I saw the potential Teniel since she's cycling. I race against her. I remember reminding her in a race that...
She beat you too?
No, I was sprinter.
That was in my younger days, you know.
Not again.
All right, okay.
But anyway, but people need to stop with the lip service and come out and support. Don't wait for the cyclist or the athlete, whosoever he or she may be. Once you see that potential, and you hear that this person is doing good and working hard, you need to come out and probably give that support somewhere along the line. Right? You're not going to lose.
Exactly.
Don't wait until the cyclists reach. I won't even say World Cup, because they will not recognize that, but Olympics.
Yeah.
But there's a big thing about it. And they want to put a thing on the papers, you're spending $50,000 and $20,000.
Yeah. Which could have gone to the athlete, you know,
which could have gone to assist the cyclists, funding the cyclists. You have nutrition to see about. You have to go by the masseuse every month. All these things are cost, right? And we need, or the sports person need those assistants, right? When you cannot make it. And this is the thing that we are lacking in Trinidad. Look at a simple thing I look at with the Pan Am Elite Championship. You have teams came down here like Mexico, Canada, US, all those other teams. And they came down here fully equipped. Right? They even have a guy shooting videos of every cyclist.
Yeah.
So when they go back to the drawing board, they start to analyze. We don't have that. You know, I said lip service, okay, she right good, she beat this one. But are you going to analyze any more of the cyclists? You know, so we need that support before, you know, the cyclists go out there and think. And if you're not seeing well, the cyclists showing potential, but then you pull up on the manager. Right? Because it's my responsibility to make sure that cyclist continue doing what they're doing, or that sports person continue doing what they're doing to achieve their goal. You know, plain and simple. Because I do a lot of investment where that is concerned, and corporate TNT need to come out and start doing investment for the cyclists. They'll invest in what we call our local thing now. People will pump money into it, you know, because they want the mileage. Nice, but the other part, look at that also. You know, this young lady is putting out her sweat and tears every day.
Plus she has put her education on hold for a year.
Right, and it's hours on the road. Right, I started to send a driver sometimes to make sure that she's safe on the nation road, both from vehicles or people, you know, they know the crime situation. You know, that's a cost. You know, so I rather do that than to get a phone call and say, okay, Teniel, you come home yet, and then everybody knows how to panic. Right? Then the citizens know how to panic. Yeah. But then they realize, well, hey, she just want a thing in
the first thing they will say is the manager's responsibility. He should have done this, he should have that. Yeah.
That's right. You know, so I'm not going on that road. You know, so once people recognize what is happening and give the support, they'll help a lot of young people, quote unquote, to see that, hey, they're getting some support somewhere, and they could probably, he or she could probably start doing the right things.
If there's anyone out there who needs to assist in any way possible, how do they get in contact with the club, or who do they call? Or?
Okay, they could contact the club at, they could call my office, which is 663-2975. And my cell number is 682-7232. And you have an administration person in the club there now, which is Daniel. She will take the calls, because as we always in meetings, you know, things and whatnot. So she will take the calls.
You should give an email.
What's the Andrew email again?
I'm not sure about her email.
We're going to put it up after the after we discuss.
So DeAndre is assisting me now with the event that we have coming up in May, 25th, 26th, and 27th. And we call Fire on Wheels. You know, so
that's in May.
That's in May. So you get that UCI sanction, a Class 2 event.
Where is it?
Vancouver.
Vancouver.
Yeah.
In this challenging time, you know, how difficult it is for you to, you said you are basically a sponsor to Teniel and to the club too. In this time we're hearing everybody complaining, lack of money, no money, no money. How have you been able to withstood, you know, that and continue that support?
I must say it's very challenging. Yeah. And that's what I mean, telling you, I'd rather the club stay small now than to have a huge club.
How large is the club?
Well, before we had something like 13 members.
13?
And, yeah, now we're down to about 8 to 10.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I prefer keep it that way.
Okay.
You know, just for managing the club properly.
Yeah, and to make sure the financial, then, you know. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
You know, so like I have something like 16 bikes outside that I purchase and, you know, guys use or things that and whatnot. Then you have to buy tires, you have to get things organized and whatnot. So it's a lot. And when I check the investment on that, it's huge. 16 bikes. You know, I remember a guy told me recently, he said, Desmond, you shouldn't be doing that. I said, why? I said, I know where I come from. You know, and based on where I come from, if I see somebody need help, I will help them. You know, I'm not going to, not because I'm in this position, I'm not going to look down at anybody. You know, that's my rule. You know, and to the end of the day, maybe I might get the rewards for it, yes or no. But at the end of the day, I feel good in my heart that I helped somebody.
Okay.
So yes, I know it's a tough situation now with the economy. Considering my business also is very tough to do things, and sometimes that get me a bit upset if I see people don't do things that I require them to do. You know, but other than that, so far it's going pretty good. I'm managing it very.
What's the relationship with Teniel? Do you have to like before at times, or she's one of those rare species that don't give any trouble?
To date, I never they caused.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. To date.
But
if she go offline, I will
just stretching.
I'm sure that there are a lot of people who have assisted you or paved the way for you in your career as a cyclist. Who are some of those people that you would really like to take this opportunity to really say a special thank you to?
Definitely my coach Elijah Green.
How long have you been with Elijah?
He's actually the one who got me back on my bike.
Yeah, he did a good job.
He actually literally begged me to come back out. And he...
What, you had stopped cycling?
Yeah, I stopped.
What was the reason?
I had a couple knee problems.
Okay, okay.
So I took a year and a couple months off, and then when he used to drop my brother home, he used to beg me to come back. He was like, he needs a female cyclist. He needs me back on my bike. And here I am today, accomplishing a lot under him, and will further accomplish more. So Elijah Green is definitely number one. There's also Mr. Desmond Roberts, because actually since I've come to PSL Cycling Club, apart from the outcome where you'll be disappointed in a lot of things, he has actually took the initiative to get me to certain places. And despite all the naysayers and what they have to say, he believes in his athletes, and once you have to go somewhere, he will try it in the best way possible to get you there. There's also my gym coach, Mr. Junior, and his wife, Miss Karen. There's my family, the entire Huggins family. They're always there at my races.
I know that, you know, you watch, yeah, for real. Yeah, mother always have fun, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's the supporters from day one. So yeah, it's just everyone who have started with me from the bottom, and the ones who are now joining and seeing my potential. Yeah, I'm just very thankful, and I'm very thankful as well to the man above for helping me realize that I am talented, and cycling is one of the sports that I can see myself succeeding in and acquiring my goals. Because I'm pretty sure that if anyone lay eyes on me, they will never think that I'm a cyclist. They will always think I'm probably a volleyball player or a basketball player. So, yeah.
Looking back at your career thus far, what would you say, is there anything that you have done that you, given the opportunity, you'll do it differently? Or any disappointed moments that, you know, still haunt you to this day?
Yeah. Junior Pan Ams, track championships in Mexico, where I almost actually won a medal in the Omnium event. It was actually my second year back into the sport, and I ended up fourth.
Well, what was the reason for that?
The points race. Not having much experience, not racing internationally. That was actually my first international event, so yeah, it was just, it really hurt. I was like going into the last event, I was sitting in second position. And after the last event, I ended up in fourth.
But I'm sure that you learned from that, and that is not going to happen again. I'm sorry, Roberts, before we wrap, anything you would like to share with us, you know?
Well, I would like to thank my wife who's been very patient with me. You know, getting up early in the morning and hitting the road. You know,
you better make sure.
Yeah. And I have a 18-month-old baby there now, so you know, the family time, you know, I kind of mix it. It's a different ball game now. You know, to really have that mix, you know, with my family. Also, I'd like to thank Mr. Walcott, who is the person who does take care of Teniel massage and so on. He do a very good job where that is concerned. To me, he's one of the best. You could ask OG and Samuel that. Yeah. Other than that, the support that Teniel family give her is excellent. You know, her mom is there with her, you know, neck and neck. You know, I met dad. He's also very supportive. You know, and whatnot. So that is excellent. You know, when I see those things, that give me that extra drive. You know, so in closing, I'd like to say, I want to thank her for flying the PSL Club high, and also when she go out to race, very aggressive and focused, and do what she have to do. And also that double gold medal she achieved for Trinidad and Tobago was you know, very successful. So, you know, I also want to thank her for that.
Okay. And you leave on what day?
Either the 26th or 27th of February.
Well, Teniel, on behalf of myself and ACTN, we want to wish you all the best. We want to wish you a successful 6-month stint, and We wish that after the first 6 months, you get another 6 months. But we're really hoping that Trinidad and Tobago will come out and support you financially or any other way possible. And we look forward to greater things from you. And we know that you're going to come back a better cyclist.
Of course.
Right? So again, Mr. Roberts, a pleasure.
Same here.
Right? Teniel, all the best.
Thank you.
And we're going to keep in touch and we're going to make sure that we support you in some way, any way possible. Right? And we know you're going to do well.
Good.
And we're going to look forward to seeing some more females in your club.
That's right.
Because we're going to want somebody else to follow in her footsteps.
Good.
Right?
And let them know I'm a Jew on it, because when I say 6 is 6.
It's 6 is 6. Well, viewers, we have come to the end of another edition of Scoreboard here on ACTN. We were talking to the Trinidad and Tobago female cyclist Teniel Campbell and her manager Desmond Roberts. And Teniel leaves at the end of February to head to Switzerland on a 6 months training stint that is going to benefit her. And as I said before, our viewers, if anybody out there and you want to assist, please, the number is going to be on the screen, the email, all the information. Please help her. And remember, you're not going to lose because you're going to claim back tax. So don't say you don't have any money. We know things are tough, but invest in something that is worthy. If you miss any part of this show, tomorrow at 1 p.m., it's a review. And catch us next week on Tuesday at 8 p.m. right here on this channel. Have a blessed week ahead.